All right, in this video, we're going to do a short recap regarding the week 1 in the Craig Wright Satoshi trial, COPA versus Wright, and what to expect going forward into week 2. So stay tuned for this. And also, I'll leave a link at the end of this video on how you can watch the trial in person. I'm sorry, not in person, but online. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we had 4 days of oral testimony, cross of Craig Stephen Wright. And I made my calls here at the end of the week, on Friday's video, that we got an even Steven going into the following week with momentum favoring COPA. Now, there's a couple reasons for that, and you could, I'll actually see if I can get a playlist here at the end of this as well, where you can watch the prior videos that I made for the following week. If you want to just kind of get a recap of each day going along, I've got a little playlist that I will post, see if I could post at the end of this video as well. So, in summary, Wright, there was just opening. They did a statement of the case and summary of, some case management, items in the beginning on day 1. And then basically that was just day 1. Day 2 and 3, I would consider round 1 and 2 because that was right on the stand. And it looked promising, okay, from my perspective on those first 2 days for Wright. So I awarded Wright those first 2 days. What came out on day 3 and 4, round 3 and 4, was actually a little bit. So yeah, what came out was basically Wright testified that he had hired, a guy called Christian Ager Hansen was hired by Enchain as their CEO. Wright appeared to defer to him to hire the experts to basically defend the rebuttal evidence in this case. That appears to be a massive, huge error on Wright's part in relying on this person, Ager Hansen, which Wright now claims infiltrated the project, sabotaged the whole thing. That is yet to come out. None of that's all hearsay and allegations to this point. We don't know. But, ultimately that seems to be Wright's claim, and how that plays out, that's going to be another case for another day. But what we have today is, going into this week is that's come out now that the experts that Wright has, that he's relying on rebuttal evidence, because as a summary here, basically what's going on, you got COPA's bringing in, let's say 2 expert reports right now that I'm aware of. We got Rosenthal, and then we got the Madden report. And each of these Madden reports are bringing in, let's say 50 documents. And in those expert opinions, they're alleging the documents were not authentic, they were not genuine. Okay, each one, and they've gone line by line for their reasons. Wright has the opportunity to rebut that in evidence with expert testimony. Not his testimony, not Wright's testimony. Wright's testimony is moot on this. It's irrelevant. Okay, it doesn't even count because he's one of the parties. While he may be an expert, he may be correct, it doesn't count. He has to bring forward expert testimony to rebut that evidence. The court actually pointed that out to him, I think, on Thursday, where he said, Wright, you might want to focus on these opinions here because if I get those, if those come into evidence, basically, you're going to lose, okay, if you haven't rebutted them. So that's come out now. It's basically Wright's got himself in a hole on this matter. That's why it's going to be an even. I already called the first 2 days in favor for COPA. For Wright, but now the last 2 for COPA. Now that doesn't mean that what we're seeing here is fact or anything like that. Now the reason being is because there's a big difference between pieces of paper and actual evidence. So the court now the court has not actually taken these documents into evidence, and I'm going to object to anyone who says otherwise. Even if they're an attorney in the UK, I still object because evidence is when you take the item and you bring the guy in and he swears under penalty of perjury and he's going to go ahead and talk just like what Wright's doing now. He's on the stand and he's able to talk about his witness statement. Okay. And that's the first thing they did. Is this your witness statement? Is that your signature? So that's the same thing that's still got to happen with the experts. So we're not quite there yet, but we're leading into that possibility. And if what Wright's saying is true about the experts that he has being weak in rebutting that evidence, well, that defense for Wright is out the window. So it's something, it's something we just, what's going on in the case. I'm just trying to report on this as best I can from a non-lawyer's perspective out here in California, So I'm watching the trial again tomorrow. It's going to be starting at 2:30 a.m. California time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll put a link at the video here, which I did a link at the end of the video, which will show you exactly how to tune in. So stay tuned to the end for that. Now, again, it's Super Bowl Sunday, right? So no matter what, the fat lady ain't singing yet, right? Ain't out. It's not over. Okay. There's still procedural things. I mean, this is literally only first week. So we're going into an even, way I'm seeing it is an even playing field starting tomorrow. That's the way I'm seeing it. Okay. I mean, I get it. The BSV crowd thinks they're up. The BTC guys think they're up. Okay. I really want to try to look at this neutrally and see where we're at. I really believe we're going into a neutral, even, 2-2 going into tomorrow morning. And, that may change. We'll see what happens tomorrow and how it goes. But really, where the real fire is going to happen is when the experts get on the stand, what they say, if they're allowed to get in, if there's objections, if there's motions to strike, if Wright's counsels, if the evidence gets in from these experts and then the other, Wright's counsel moves to strike them or impeach them, they're not credible. This is where the real rubber is going to hit the road. If that doesn't happen, then Wright's going to lose. So, that's just, it looks to me like right where we're at right now, the overall call is 2-2. We're even. Okay. Wright still has a defense on the motion, on the impeachment motion, which he could bring, which could ultimately get these expert testimonies out. However, I hope that I am wrong on this. Okay. And I'm totally open to it. I may be totally wrong that Wright's experts are sound. They are competent and they have rebutted the evidence. Let's hope that I'm wrong on that. And if I am, then those two calls yesterday are totally void. But I haven't read those reports, so I can't say from my perspective. All I can say is what I've heard on the stand so far, and the fact that Wright says Wright claims and testifies that the experts that he's provided he didn't use the word incompetent, but he doesn't fully stand by them and support that they've rebutted the evidence. And that's absolutely crucial in a case like this. Your expert has to rebut the other evidence and show why this expert is incorrect and this is the correct way to go. And what Wright says about that is what's called moot, meaning silent. It means nothing on that point. All right, so that's for the two experts to discuss because they're supposed to be neutral third parties. So it appears that Wright's moving over strictly to relying on what's called an impeachment motion. And that is absolutely great. I'm saying it's great. It's just, if that's his only option, then he should just focus on that. And that could be a possibility. I mean, some people have talked about mistrial. I really don't know how that applies or if it's even relevant. It could be totally relevant, on whether that's, could be just so that's just something I don't even want to get into because I don't know. But yeah, we are going to get started tomorrow. It's going to be the round 5 of the Satoshi trials. So stay tuned here on this channel. I'll keep you posted. I did reach out to Mr. David Pierce. He is a patent attorney out in the UK. And, I asked him to come on to do a show with me, a little podcast interview to hear his perspective. And, it'd be really interesting. He's been in the courtroom there, and so I would love to get his perspective. I'm open-minded to hearing, both sides of the argument here. Okay. I don't know everything. I don't know what I don't know. All right. I mean, I really come at this in a very curious perspective, and I'm open to learning. I'd rather be informed than misinformed. All right. And I hope you guys see the same way. Let's stay informed so we can keep making educated decisions for ourselves, rather than just being misinformed and, following some Pied Piper. I'm going to keep everybody posted on exactly what's going on, and I will leave a video. So at the end here, there should be 2 videos. One will be the way to get into trial tomorrow. That's going to be instructions, which I did a video on. I'll post a video here. And then the other one here will be a playlist where you can watch all the recaps that I've done on week 1, and I will keep adding to that. That's going to do it. This is Gavin Mail. Stay tuned for more. I will see you guys at the top. All right. Thank you for watching.